it may not make sense in the beginning, but over time it will. I found myself being super critical of how my family responded, and I had to kind of understand that it's not on them to understand immediately. They have their own meter or moral compass of what a good business is or what a good business looks like in terms of them offering support. And once I kind of tapped into that, I wasn't as upset because I understand when you have a vision, people are only going to see 30% of the vision. You want to provide to people the experience that you want for yourself. If I was someone that wanted to benefit from the content that I'm making, how would I go about making this content? How would I position everything? What would I name it? What thumbnails would grab my attention? Providing the customer experience while reflecting on your ideal customer experience.
It's been an eventful day.
Were you saying you were headed to the gym or leaving the gym?
Leaving.
You said you had an event last week?
A little bit of everything, I will say. Last week I had a combination of wedding and family things last week. A wedding expo, and it was an overload all in one.
What's a wedding expo?
So the same concept of InvestFest, but wedding related. Pink Bride is like the host of it, and they literally host it everywhere from different cities. So I got to know other cheaper budgets, other people who do different things, and unique ways of just additions to the wedding that I could add in. So it was pretty cool. It was an experience. I went with my maid of honor. She traveled an hour and a half in town. And so it was like an overpacked of that day of one thing to another.
Yeah, so you had a speaking engagement as well? How was that?
It was good. It was one of those moments where I feel like I am definitely ready to turn it on autopilot when it comes to my financial side of me. But other than that, it was just so effortless. I enjoyed every bit of it. Just connecting to different topics around personal finance, to what is grant writing, how to find grants, people just realizing that there's grants and everything and not just for nonprofits. So yeah, it was just a little bit of everything, but also being able to share where I have things on the horizon of. So I connected with a couple nonprofits there that were working on building their nonprofit. So beginner steps to people, and so it just allowed me to kind of also pitch my parents, my mom's consulting business as well.
Well, that's good.
So it was definitely a full event, full day. I feel like I really didn't realize what it was. Looked up.
That's what's up. So what do you feel was something you expected versus what do you feel something that caught you by surprise?
What caught me by surprise was realizing the individual who brought me there to talk about personal finance and just my niche of things was her shock of all of things that I would do. And so it was like she got to her reintroduction to who she met 2 years ago when I first met her. And so it was nice to almost just give her a shock of, no, I'm grown up. Things have happened since the last time you see me. But the other positive is I have a new desk set up at the house that allows me to do a standing desk. And I feel like I have cracked the code for me at home.
Oh yeah, to being more productive.
Yeah. So it's just and now I enjoy coming to my desk at the crib versus wanting to go to a cafe or just to the office or whatever the case.
After that, that's definitely something I had to do. I was going to requesting to reserving space to conference rooms and spaces in the library. I said, you know what, bruh? 2025, man, I'm just buy me a board. F it. I'm just go ahead. And... So now I got me a dry erase board of my own. I ain't got to go out and sign up for nothing and wait around. So it definitely makes a difference.
Oh, yeah. That was actually how I told her what I left on when my dry erase towards my parents' house. And my mom insinuated that she wants to be helpful towards my business. And I'm like, but you don't sit down and listen to what my business is for you to absorb it all. So I pretty much left on my dry erase board at the crib that if you want to be invested or VC, if I want to add capital to what I have going, these are things I have going. And here's the amount. And I literally left it on the board. And Y'all want to be nosy? Be nosy and future.
Be nosy and invest.
Right.
No, I feel that. It's one of those things when because I know for me personally, I went through a season where I was giving some pushback to what my family thought that I should be doing, especially with me having a degree in architecture. They felt like I should be at someone's firm. Like, man, that's such a. When I think about it, just like you are excited about me going to work for someone else and support their dream. Meanwhile, I'm taking the initiative to, be concerned about my dream or my vision for myself. And so, it's one of those things where we have to kind of just do it, and then they'll figure it out as we take things more serious. So even for me, with my coaching business, it's one of them things where it may not make sense in the beginning, but over time it will. And when it comes to parents, man, the parentals, it's like, I don't know, you can make peace with them not understanding, or it can bother you to, be successful faster, or it could just be one of those things where if they get it, they get it. They don't, they don't.
Right. Definitely that. So I feel like I did some also journaling with AI this week that I feel like I just needed to vent and without needing the actual saying it to my parents. And it just gave me like a good brain dump of like just getting it off my chest and allowing clarity to go towards other things.
Yeah. You don't want to talk to a wall and expect change. So I know for me, that's a very, I put it, that's something that's almost necessary with what we're looking to do, whether that be entrepreneurship, start a business, have a vision. Because I found myself being super critical of how my family responded. And I had to kind of understand that it's not on them to understand immediately. It's not on them to support immediately. They have their own meter or moral compass of what a good business is, or what a good business looks like in terms of them offering support. And once I kind of tapped into that, I wasn't as upset, because I understand, again, when you have a vision, people are only going to see maybe 30% of the vision, maybe.
Yeah. And that is actually one thing I actually wanted to talk to you about today, was an element that I was talking to my makeup runner about, was really leaning into my yoga brand inside of my. So let me run it back. Robert and I created a YouTube together because we wanted to get sponsors for the wedding.
Gotcha.
And that was another place that she was saying that I could lean in and showcase the couples workouts together, and be able to do the swap uncle, rich auntie element there. And I was like, yeah, I got to talk this out, because I'm like, I feel like she just like piqued a really good interest of like where I could take things. But I was also trying to figure out how to really lean into the sponsorship element, because I feel like, one, we have, I don't know, wholesome Black couples out there these days, I would say, in a sense, other than like the few that already have like a TV channel or a TV something that exists or present. And that's one thing I was like, we are almost like bringing back just
wholesome couples
folks who have fun without having to blow the whole bag, just to have fun. And all of that can be showcased there.
I think it's a good idea. What you always want to lead with, so I call it catering to the customer within. And what that pretty much means is you want to provide to people. You want to provide to people the experience that you want for yourself. And in doing that, what that does is it gives you insight on what you appreciate. It gives you insight on thought process. It gives you insight on positioning and how. In so many words, it's like, okay, if I was someone that wanted to benefit from the content that I'm making, how would I go about making this content? How would I position everything? What would I name it? What thumbnails would grab my attention? So, I would say it's a good suggestion It's a it's a great suggestion rather. And the takeaway is providing the customer experience while reflecting on your ideal customer experience. Because you want to be effortless, you want to be forced, and then in flow with everything else. If you can't create 17 iterations of one idea, then you're not an expert. So the growth in exercises like these is important to highlight. It's important to have a layout, but it's also important to highlight. Huh? Okay. Yeah, customer experience, and the more relatable it is, the more the idea will have legs and be of interest to others.
And yeah, that's one thing she was talking about. I can run the whole wedding series of just planning and all that.
Off the top of my head, it's like so many days, counting down days till the day of the wedding. That whole experience is vlog worthy. The exercises, yeah, consistency, of course. You want to be as creative as possible. You want to be practical. You want to give yourself grace, because if you haven't done anything like this before, then when you're trying to figure it out, you don't want to downplay your efforts, because all of that can be picked up on when someone's watching. I go live every week, and I can already tell some of my pieces of content won't connect like they should. I'm okay with that, because when I did the recording, I wasn't really feeling it anyway. But the more important thing is, because I'm consistent, I'm not really worried. So the importance of consistency in that regard is, it's not going to always be as perfect as it looks in your mind, which why it's important to be consistent, because you can now progress towards that perfect vision you have by doing it, by continually making the content. How often are you posting on YouTube right now?
Once a week.
Is it automated or something you're doing?
Still something I'm doing, but Robert said he's willing to take over editing.
Is your assistant posting your content, or you're posting it?
She's posting shorts, so I'm doing long form.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense then. So how many shorts is she posting per week? Okay. Is it possible for her to do at least 7? Even, I mean, now realistically, please express to her she can literally post the same 3 videos twice for a total of 6. That's totally fine. Just alternate. And it does sound a little crazy, but you just don't know. We don't know when those shorts will be seen.
Right.
And I mean, it sounds crazy until it works.
No, yeah. My yoga stuff, when I post it on the weekends, it gets more feedback versus during the week. And so I'm like, okay, so now I feel like my Sunday drop makes more sense for my audience already.
Have you begun to create your SMS community?
Yes. And right now it is, I will say, it's more my actual people who are ready to answer text messages to opening those. I only have a few that's actually like, so that percentage I gave you last time was outside of my actual personal. So I think it was like 24%.
So we're gonna pivot. We're gonna pivot just a little bit. Just yesterday I created a group chat from conversations that I had with Threads, and I started a trading community. I literally named it Trading Talks Trading Talk from Threads, something like that. And it got like 16 people in it, or 15 people, excluding me, overnight. So my point is that the pivot now is, if you don't have your own subscriber channel with IG, to create a group chat, right, from your Instagram page of choice, and then add everyone that is either a part of your community, interested, likes the photos about yoga, whoever qualifies, add them in that, and then begin to pour into that group chat whatever you have that's new, or something that you want to sell maybe. And that will put you in the mind frame to think about community first. Because on Threads, now first off, on Threads, you should be getting like 17 women a day coming into your group chat, just off of the value that you provide. And yes, it may be a bit challenging on how to communicate that, but sometimes it can just be simple.
Yes, because me posting about me being in yoga for 12 years, I have way more feedback than.
And I would, so it's all about, yes, it's about impact, but the transformation is also how you're presenting the information. So with threads, what I like about threads is you ain't even gotta hashtag all the time. You can just mention, you know what I'm saying, whatever your industry is inside the thread, and it'll just carry and have a life of its own. So my point is, if you have content or threads that is getting some traction, you could just maybe repost it with the invite link from the group chat, and then run that every day to beef up the group. Now, of course, you want to beef the group up, and then once a week you do a Zoom call or a live class, and you sell from the live class. For me, one of the stipulations that I kind of had to be aware of was a lot of these chicks, don't want thirsty niggas in the way when all we want to do is talk about trading and how we can get better with trading. So that kind of canceled out other platforms for me because I wanted it to be a space that was comfortable for people giving that statement. So I did IG group chat, and it's cool so far so good. But what I'm emphasizing is I literally took the initiative to create the space and then promote the space. My point is, this is an ecosystem, an atmosphere where you can make it about the topic and then be the expert providing the outlet for others to speak. Meaning, if you mediate the space, if you mediate a space that you created, that will make it a lot more easier to float sales and float ideas to a body of people that are all showing interest, and that also eliminates this need to force it or have conversations to woo people to, I'm saying, check you out. Like, man, hell nah. If y'all in this yoga group, I'm saying I'm doing a live call every week. Y'all chime in and you pitch at the end of the live call. My point is, I know with this trading group, because I don't have anything to offer, I'm just excited they even in there. Like, I was in there, heavy yesterday, but at this point, like, man, they got it. I'm saying, so it's.
So what would pitching look like if they are already part of the group?
So, okay, cool. That's a good question. So first off, you have to always treat things. Okay. Here's the day today. Every day after today, you have to live life, handle yourself as if you get 17 new leads a day, 17 new followers, 17 new members in the group chat, 17 sales from your offer, 17 people that have joined your private community. Because when you do that, you show existing members it's on and popping. This thing is taking off. You are in the right place at the right time with the right person for the right things. And to answer your question, you conduct yourself. I'm sorry, let me just be blunt. You don't want to talk like you're talking to them. The call once a week is all for the new members. Like for example, at church every Sunday, they do the altar call, invitation to discipleship, looking for a church home, ... Hey man, the church full of members already. It ain't about the old members. They know where to come. They know who to talk to, when to pull up. They know about Bible study, Sunday school. They already know. But if we are expecting new members, we have to conduct ourselves as such. We have to reflect the energy of an expert that is always in the flow or the frequency of helping people, in the frequency of attracting new people, new leads to get this transformation. Because if not, what happens is you conduct yourself like ain't nobody join. So people can pick up on that. I know when I first started going live, I started going live on IG, I was in love with the fact that I would always carry myself like somebody just signed up. You feel me? Because I not only am I in expectation of that, but if that's my new normal, I don't need to wait till that happens to fall in line with that reality. I just need to go ahead and just live like it. And when you live like it, you're expecting the thing to happen and not waiting. And yes, expecting and waiting can be the same word. But for me, if I'm waiting, I'm delaying or postponing a thought, a frequency, an activity. If I'm expecting, hey man, when you get here, it's ready to go. For example, if I'm expecting and waiting, if I'm waiting on somebody to pull up, you know what I'm saying, just from a state of action / inaction, I'm for the most part inactive. And for sake of conversation, let's say not necessarily expect, let's say anticipating. Maybe that is a different verb to evoke a different action. But if I'm expecting, I'm getting things together. I am anticipating someone to arrive to get some food. So I'm always in the activity of preparing for somebody new to join my program or join my movement. And that alerts, like I said, the others, hey, she's serious about growing this thing. Maybe I can help her. Maybe I can't. But it all starts with your intentions. And if your intentions is, man, I just want somebody to come join. I need some money. And hey, y'all, it's just us. We don't need a bunch of people. It's just us. Nah, hell nah. Hey, y'all, listen. This thing's going to be huge. It's about to be packed. It's 17 of y'all. It's going to be 170. I already allotted for, let's see, 17 and 70. 3 is 20. 53. 153 other slots, seats. And we're going to build this thing out. And so it goes from being this girl club to a community movement of individuals. And now they're excited, even though they're already in the program. So you kind of have to embody that energy.
And then I guess from my point of view of just like what I offer once they're there, is that where my menu comes in play of like the focus areas of hip, back, different type of, and is that where I would push the offers and merch?
So if I could paint the picture for you, what I would illustrate would be content, right? I'll just be practical. Let's say you have 17 new people. You're inviting 17 strangers into your group chat right now at this very second. Okay, cool. You're going to unload 17 pieces of content. And then the 18th thing you speak on is, hey, y'all, this community is totally free. I go live once a week. I'm live yoga. Here's the link if you want to join the call. Okay, cool. If all 17 join, then during this 17-minute live stream or Zoom call, you're going to pitch maybe 3 times. And here's how it happens. The content is there, but every 3 or 4 minutes, you're going to pause and show them something. Listen, y'all, we're 4 minutes in. I know I killed the vibe, but I need y'all to know, if you haven't taken the time to watch this, y'all missing out. I'm giving y'all a free, run through right now for 17 minutes, but the rest of the exercise is here. If y'all want to tap into that, I'm going to drop it in the chat now. Okay, cool. Eyes closed, breathe in, and you just flow. So you're doing these commercial breaks about every 4 or 5 minutes, and all you're doing is you're pitching the top 3 things you want people to buy. Keeping it simple and easy. I don't give a gosh darn about if it's a lot, if it's a little, if it's taxing, if it's digital, if it's physical. If Oprah was to spend money with you and say, hey girl, I got a book club of 10 million people. They need yoga. They gaining weight. What's the one thing my 10 million people and myself can shop with you on? Whatever that thing is, talk about that after 4 minutes for the first commercial break. The primary offer that is the most valuable, whatever it is, whatever the dollar amount, I do not care how much it costs. Do that first.
Okay. Yeah.
Then you roll up into another 4 or 5 minutes and do another commercial break. This one is the one that, you know what I'm saying, you talk about that is not the most affordable, but it's a step lower than your first offer. It's like, you know what, girl? Okay, cool. Well, I can do 4 payments. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. If you got to do 4 payments, let's do this thing with 1 payment, right? That's that. Then the third commercial break is going to be something that is totally free. Meaning, listen, you're on a Zoom call right now. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, it's the third commercial break because I gotta pay bills too. But inside this call, I want to tell you about my SMS group. I want to tell you about my YouTube channel. I want you to know all about my newsletter where it's free, no money. You can stay up to date on this. And it's really a piece of my offers, but I'm not expecting you to have no money right now. But I am expecting you to show up for yourself. And if you feel moved to do so, here are some resources. Now, I got that out the way. I'm done. Let's get back to the workout. We got 10 more minutes. I'll see you at the end of the workout. And then you go back into it. And they're going to be like, what is this? When you got strangers and old people in the Zoom call, they're going to say, is this pre-recorded? How is she doing this? Who is she talking to? And that's super fun because what they don't know is these live calls become their own vehicle of content to go to either your YouTube or Rumble, or maybe it's a part of your second wave of emails. Wherever this information, this content can fit, you now have that to implement. And, if me personally, what I would do is I would make, okay, here's what I would do. Here's my work with me 101 for $1,700. Plans, hand holding, posture, my printables, my laminated stuff, Zoom calls, what's not Slack, but when you can, my Facebook group, whatever, your whole package, $1,700. Then I would for the second one say, look, okay, cool. Second commercial break, $17. You have access to, all of my 17-minute workout system for $17. You get that for $17. And then the last thing is, of course, the resources, the social platform info, the email letter, all that good stuff. Now, what's magical is this. The $17 for the $17, which is going towards the 17-minute workout system, is this cool thing I call it VVS's, but it's really a virtual video vault. So here's what's fun. When you're doing these calls once a week, right? First off, let's back it up. You already have content. I know. Good for you. But there's something about overdoing it, adding value, right? Checking all boxes, covering all corners, a deep clean. It's like, okay, cool. How many people clean their house? What do you do? How many people do a deep clean? Whole different kind of audience, right? So what we want to do, again, cater to the customer within. Look, girl, I ain't got $1,700. I really ain't got $17, but I can get access to the $17. I'm gonna try you out. And what they don't know is that 10-minute video system, or whatever the hell I said, this system is a series of 1,700 videos, and they get access to it monthly for $17.
Okay.
Because every week you call and you live, right? Follow me now, and it's live. Got your commercials already baked in. You ain't got to edit and cut, drag, and drop. Nope, it's already in there. It's seamless, right? And it's when you're done, meaning you're now adding a component to how you do your outreach, and it's all organic. So yes, before I was all about talk to strangers at the supermarket, you know what I'm saying? Talk to the chick washing her hands next to you when you go to the bank tomorrow. None of that. Just hop on Threads 17 times a day. Make it a point to broadcast your group chat. Now, if you like me, I would literally shoot for 170 threads a day. Now, I do believe they said that threads could be scheduled. In that case, then we know we can come up with a script of threads and then offload that to your assistant, and the rest is history. But until we figure that out, I would challenge myself to drop 170 threads a day promoting this group chat. Because if you want to make money from this and get paid $1,700 per, like water, hey girl, pay me a plan, cool. Then it's gonna require you to portray yourself as someone that is super obsessed. Like, for example, so cool. I'm a confidence coach person. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go on threads right now. I'm curious. I want to see how many of my threads is gonna pop up when I type in confidence inside this search bar. Confidence. Scrolling. I guess I've been slacking then. Let's see. Yeah, I ain't gonna say I've been slacking, but my age is probably a lot older. Let's go to confidence coaching. But you understand the gist of what I'm saying. You want it a way where you're everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, the first 3 months, well, not first 3 months, but, well, since I've been on threads up until 2 weeks ago, I was getting 100,000 views a month on threads from my coaching page. And I've been enjoying it. Now, as of late, I kind of been slacking because I've been doing other things. But the gist of it is you want to extend yourself and create a system where it's effortless and it's a part of you. Like, okay, cool. For example, the more and more I take the right steps towards wealth and learning new skill set, I'm really seeing that when the money comes in, I'm the same person. I'm not nobody different. So if that much is true, if I'm saying I want to make more money, what really is the difference? Like if you're already a yoga expert and you already someone that is deserving of the you're looking to charge, like what is the shift in who you are now versus the person with the money? Well, what is it? And what I've come to find is that dash, that gray area, that middle space between now and then is obsession. What catapulted my clothing brand when I first started was my obsession to do my clothes. You know what I'm saying? Well, actually, even my tobacco company, the thing that keeps it afloat is my obsession. I will not quit. I will find new ways to add value to the marketplace. And so, boom, there's that. Now, the take-home test and the homework, right, is how can I communicate obsessing over my brand, over my passion, over my transformation that I'm offering for whatever the dollar amount is? How do I communicate or give off obsessive behavior about this yoga thing? And whatever that is, you take that and you spit it out on threads, aka thread posts. And, you do that. That's an actionable step. Second thing, have the group chat already ready to go, preloaded questions, the Zoom link. And I say this because what you'll find is as the group grows in number, when you want to get to the links, like the Zoom link or some of the pertinent information, the fact that you preloaded the group chat with all of that at first, it's as easy as scrolling all the way to the top, copy, paste. And because there's always a better way to do something, but in the scope of better, we have to now redefine what better is. Better doesn't mean ideal all the time. Better could mean easy. Better could mean quick. Better could mean accommodating. Better could mean different, to give you a new opportunity to give yourself a chance. So if you had a Twitter and it was growing and you blew it, that's okay. If you had if you had a Facebook group that you stopped posting on, that's okay. If you had a WhatsApp or a Telegram and you stopped posting because life happened, that's okay. We're on a whole new thing, group chat, whole new, whole new breath of ideas. And we're going to confidently do this thing and we're going to stick to it. And what's so lovely about this is the fact that you preload it with content and other primary resources. The most you have to do every day is say, look, y'all, this week's call would be on this day, and you out of there. And the fact that you're constantly becoming the person by posting between 17 and 170 posts about yoga in this new group chat you're so excited about, that it doesn't even matter. Like, for example, my mama always wanted to have children, and she says it in such a way that is so cute and just awesome. I really do appreciate that. But when she breaks it down to me, I find how obsessed she was. You now have to display that internal flame. And the way to do that is, again, heavy posting, right? And so now if you want to get paid $1,700 per person for the rest of the year, I would post 170 threads a day. Now, of course, I'm crazy, but I'm just saying how I feel about it. But what that does is it's like, girl, what is wrong with you? You're not sick. You're not destitute. Why are you so obsessed? Why are you posting this much? Until they say that, you're not doing enough. When people would meet me or hear about me and express how their friends feel about me, it was a bit weird because I don't see myself in that light. But when I hold myself up to how they're describing me, I'm like, man, that's normal. So what was happening was people were interacting or being observant of my presence on campus, and I was everywhere. And you couldn't identify me other than by my clothing brand because I wore it every day. So now I'm learning, even my coaching experience, the only reason why I even take it serious is because before I was a coach, people would flag me down and tell me, hey man, I took your advice and it worked. I'm like, who are you? And then they're like, yeah man, I overheard you talking to my friend and I took your advice. I'm like, so you're eavesdropping. And they were like, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I have to show grace because I'm changing lives. They're strangers. I don't know them, but they know of my transformative abilities. But they don't know, they don't take action unless they experience the obsession. Meaning, okay already, bruh, I don't even follow you, but you just keep popping up on all my accounts. What are you doing? And it's a free group. I'm just talking about yoga. And they get in there, and it can be as simple as this. When you wake up, post the Zoom link for that week call. When you eat, post something about yoga and food. When you sleep, post something about yoga and sleeping. It can be, listen, it can be so effortless. But the hack, again, everything is layers. So with skin is our biggest organ. Cool. There's also the heart, brain, lungs, all these vital organs. But we don't just have one big organ that does everything. The human body is a system of layers. So I want you to treat your business like a system of layers. Everything affects everything, but everything needs everything. And you have to compartmentalize and humanize the experience so that it's easy for a customer to relate to it. What do I mean? Well, here's the thing. We've already addressed your obsession. You can demonstrate your obsession by posting 17 to 170 threads every day. Cool. When they're in a group chat, you got the Zoom link for the weekly call. We've already established the weekly call serves as content for your 17-minute video series with yoga that you sell for $17. That's on auto. That's too easy. Now, this next component is we now have to give you the cheat code to the one-on-one experience. Meaning, not the most, but one of the best things I ever learned was just because you add zeros to the offer doesn't mean you alter the offer.
Right. Okay.
Like if this is a bit much, but no matter how much the ring costs, the ring is important. For those that want to get married, it doesn't say anything about, I don't know. Let's see. It doesn't say anything about hiring you a trainer or paying off your student loan debt. Those are extras. They're welcome. They're appreciated. But it's a ring, right? And so when it comes to your experience that you're charging for, I don't want you to feel like $1,700 means you got to go and start adding stuff. Nope, the exact opposite. A one-on-one experience is basically that. If someone paid you $1,700 to be with them for a day or for a period of time or a month or whatever the case is, however long your transformative experience is, let's just say, hey, shadow me for a month.
Yeah, move into retreat. I said my goal is to move into retreat.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, cool. So that would mean that the retreat would be $1,700 per ticket. Cool. Listen, the information still applies. But what I'm emphasizing is this. The one-on-one experience is what you will be putting in the group chat. It's just a different form. So I always love how Myron Golden has the books for sale, and he has the mentorships or the one-on-one VIP day or whatever he calls it. He always leads with, hey, you can pay me $40,000 for 1 hour, or you can pay $30 and get the book. What we're discussing now is your version of that. We're like, okay, cool. You can have the one-on-one experience, or it could just be in the group chat and you get the same work. So the group chat is a free book. One-on-one experience is that $40,000 or whatever your offer is with the price to go along with it. My point being, when you wake up, post something about waking up and yoga. When you eat, post something about eating, food, and yoga. When you sleep, yoga and sleep. When you spending money, yoga and money. When you spending time with your significant other, family time and yoga, or husband and yoga, or couples yoga, whatever. When you are having your self-care moments, self-care and yoga. When you are stressed or under, you having your girl moments and yoga. And what will happen is you're painting this interactive experience so that if someone was to book the retreat or the one-on-one or whatever you offer in person, right, they already know that you're capable of assisting them where they are. For me, I record these conversations and post my calls online because I get to display my coaching skills, but also I'm making it relatable to say, hey, listen, I don't know who the hell you are. What I do know is if you want somebody that's coaching, right, I'm relatable in this way. I meet the needs of my clients in this way, right? I can't help you, but here's some resources. Boom. And now I can add a layer to this system that makes it that much easier to sell all the tickets or all the seats to my retreat. It makes it that much easier to quantify my value, to tally up, right, the scoreboard of my expert level.
Every time I feel like we have these calls, I always see the difference of just how I've come into coaching for this business in itself versus my financial side. Because I feel like this is so very much me. It's so organic versus everybody else's, like, has always added their input in. And I feel like they diluted my plans because they wanted me to be like other people in the financial world. And this is like the first time I feel like it's truly organically me through and through because I haven't had like anybody else mindset to also add in play.
And you know, for me, that was an adjustment as well. But just me as a person, which is why I kind of find solace or I find comfort in coaching because I just know when it matters the most. I can't even craft a response from a perspective that I'm not familiar with. So like I'm only telling you what I know to be true for me, because even in the industries that I'm in, it's very rare that people possess the perspective that I have, right? And if they do, they're limiting themselves. So the thing for me that sets me free is when it mattered the most, I was poor. Listen, the experience, the opportunities that I really wanted for myself, when I had them, I couldn't afford them, and that broke me. But what it did was it put me in a place where I said, man, okay, cool. Whatever I want to do in my life that requires money, I'm gonna just forget that, and I'm gonna just focus on what I can change without spending any money. And we now know that as shadow work, as uh, self accountability. And from that lens, right, when money is involved or when community is built or when the pressure is on, we can now resort back to that frame of mind to solve all of the difficult situations. Cause like for me, I'm literally polishing the frameworks and troubleshooting ideas that I went through in college. Because man, I said, you know what? I ain't got no money, but I got somewhere to stay. I got some food to eat. And what can I do with that? Why am I feeling bad about not having no money when I'm already knowing for the next 6 months ain't no money? Why are you trying to act like you can even do anything about what you going through, bro? Just deal with it and then like try to make sense of it. And what I found was this confusion is everybody's problem. So some call it self-sabotage, some call it, lack of awareness. But for me, I address it as sense of urgency, where certain things just matter when you in a certain place in life. So if I'm naturally meeting people in the yoga space, at the gym, that I'm not even questioning my obsession because I'm busy walking the walk. Like, hell, the obsession is 20 years of doing it, right?
And that's literally why I got back into the gym that I'm at, because I know I could earn better commission off of them if I put somebody else on to my gym. And that's why I'm like, there's more of a payout opportunity here, and I'm not gonna sleep on that.
Yeah. Now, see, if you was a gangster, if I was you, I would. Now this is a stretch because I've been doing the most, but I would ask myself how many other locations, gym chains could use someone of my position to.
And that's actually what I've been looking into, is the privately owned. That's currently on my list for me to go by and make that connection, because Hotworks is like, you can, what's the right word? You can also independently own, so anybody can finance their own Hotworks in a sense. So
Like franchise. Yep. So here's the idea. All right. Now take a deep breath because you're gonna need to. You know what I'm saying? No need to get choked up now. Now we need 17 cities or 17 gym locations that are privately owned. And we're gonna say, hey, listen, I have a nationwide network of fun people that love yoga, and they may or may not be in your area. If I can bring people to your location, can we negotiate an affiliate situation? Yes or no? Maybe so. And then now,
and they already have that.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what they have.
Cool.
So
Perfect.
if I just put on 10 people, I can get a full year in my own. So I don't have to pay for a full year.
Okay. Awesome.
But yeah, I get percentage off or free month.
Okay. That's good to know. Perfect.
And because I try to be actually in their videos. They pull people from their actual people who are members be inside of videos. So I've tried it for a couple of years now.
You've been trying it for a couple of years now. How is it going so far?
I now follow more people who already are part of their everyday videos. So I would say networking a little bit more, so I know what they're looking for. I know how to show up.
Now, with that said, with that being established, the next question is, well, not question, but the next thing would be to I would say advertise, but to make aware the locations to your community inside the group chat. Hey y'all, listen, I've partnered with Hotworks and Company. They have nationwide locations. If you all are in the area looking for, again, this is some church swag that makes sense, it applies to every industry. You know, if y'all looking for a new gym home and want to consider where I go, consider Hotworks, and you can, because you're already in the flow, perfect. Now, again, back to this idea of cultivating a space in this gym yoga thing. You also want to partner up with people that may be interested and say, hey, listen, do you have a program or a software or a location or whatever that I don't provide? Or maybe I do provide it. And you want to do an affiliate play, let's discuss things. Right? And then now, when you do speak of costly things in the group chat, it's done tastefully where you can send these affiliate links and things out via email marketing. So instead of saying, hey, I got a good offer for y'all, like, nah, make sure y'all join the email, make sure y'all join the mailing list. We send out deals, whatever, every week. We got coupons and sales and free content. You say, okay, and you run an affiliate play through the emails, and that keeps the group chat free, innocent, easy, nice and flowy. All you do is offer Zoom calls and, gym hacks, home life gym hacks for the average person, making it very relatable. And you locked in.
Even with, I guess, the elements of just pitching to the private gyms, should I go request for the owner, or should I request for their marketing or media team?
Yeah, I would. Okay, so we do it like this. The first two calls you try both ways. One for the owner, one for the marketing person. And then whatever gives you of course, do a pilot test. Whatever gives you the best response, then you'll know which one to choose.
Makes sense. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that. Yeah, because I was running AI elements of pitching. I really wanted to just come in and introduce my face to them and not just do emails, especially to local areas, because the element of being in a small town, I feel like I could really be more personable. We have so many gyms in this one town, including on Planet Fitness.
I'm excited. I believe that things are going to lead you to having an amazing year in yoga. The most vital thing, of course, is going to be taking action and just following through, remembering the obsession is the big. For example, it's like, okay, cool. People meet me. I'm very infectious. It's like, man, we got this jacket, and you ought to see him with this jacket. It's 3 pieces, and he got orange hair, and he got all this cool stuff going on. And it's like, who are you? Right? Cool. How do we communicate that for someone that's a yoga expert with all these things going on? What does that look like? What gives me the, hey, y'all, I met her today. We got 17-minute video series, free group chat. Never mind that. She got this is going on. Couples yoga. My man been fat for 5 years and I hate it. But she got this couples yoga thing where it's real innocent. Hey, babe, come work out with me. I'm about to do some naked yoga and we just do it together as a couple. And then we cuddle and it's lovely. It has to be the question of the week for the next 7 days is, what is the infectiousness of my brand? And whatever that is, when you identify with that, you lead with that, throw that in the pot with the thread stuff, along with the affiliate gyms, along with the day-to-day home life, yoga wife type stuff. So, something crazy is if you had an offshoot page called the Yoga Family, and it's like yoga wife, yoga husband, yoga kids, yoga dog, and then you just create this weird reality where it's like, I'm a yoga wife. If a grown man can be a cat dad, or the chick that makes computers all day is a plant mom, what's wrong with being a yoga wife? So again, being obsessive, it breeds this specific community of people that share it. Being a housewife is a thing. It's always been a thing, but essentially it's a thing. Women that are housewives, they buy certain stuff. Women that are first-time moms, they're going to overbuy a bunch of stuff. Seasoned moms, they're not buying certain stuff.
If they want the body.
You know what I'm saying? And so my point is, allow yourself to drift and daydream about these alternate realities of these different, archetypes of clients. So if you lead with obsession, you have to follow with obsession. So leading with obsession is, as we discussed, posting crazy about yoga, but following up with obsession is saying, cool. My ideal audience is probably going to be women that are this and this, the rich aunties, but I'm engaged, about to have my wedding. I'm a yoga wife. So you're the rich auntie, you're also the yoga wife. You know what I'm saying? And then if you ever want to see, oh my goodness, if you ever want to see the power of a community, look up how much humans spend on taking care of their dog. And what that means is, when you are establishing your obsessive nature of yoga, you will venture off into yoga for pets, which sounds crazy, but I've seen pets do yoga with their owner. So if we have a YouTube channel that is the hub or nucleus of all of your resources as a yoga instructor, we want to include the life and times of the yoga dog. And if that means redoing content or multitasking and having one cell phone on the dog, one cell phone on you and the dog, another cell phone on you and the husband, and then the iPad on you, the husband, and the dog, we can now cater to more audiences or more obsessive niches inside this yoga thing, and you can magnify your efforts.
That makes sense. And I'm actually now curious to run the yoga content with him in it versus him without it.
You already know it's gonna go. Like, even when I lay down at night, sometimes I watch people rescue the pets and animals that get thrown away. Like, the dog that got his leg chewed off, or the cat that's blind but got 3 legs. I don't know why it's on my feed, but it pop up and I watch it.
Exactly. No, it exists for a reason.
And so my point is, like, don't sleep on the skill sets you already have.
Right.
I literally threw away my blender yesterday by mistake, and I was so mad at myself. But when I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute. You already need some stuff from Walmart anyway, so just reorder that, and then order the stuff you needed. And like, I wanted to be so upset at myself, but I was like, you know what, dog? That was a good. I ain't gonna say that was a good idea, but it worked out. And so the skill set of perspective gave me a second look at what I thought would be a shortcoming of mine, right? And so by taking interest, by obsessing over pets and yoga and how many views does pet content get versus human content, and then leveraging that to get your point across, you're able to do more by just being you. The only shift is positioning. I'm going to YouTube right now. I'm going to type in yoga dog. I see a bunch of, oh wow, The dodo, it says dog copies every single yoga pose his dad does. 4 years ago, 1 million views. Wow. Dog doing yoga with 500,000 views. Dog yoga, 200,000 views. 5 years ago. Nothing is. I see 5 years ago, but where's the stuff from now, from 2025? I don't see nothing. 12 years ago. Now, this is why I love what I'm doing. Because, first off, let's back it up. I typed in yoga dog. I see a bunch of shorts, no long form, recently with dog owners and the dogs. My point is, if you were to create a YouTube channel called Yoga Wife or the YouTube handle Yoga Dog.
I'm already thinking of something. The fact that like I just found an indoor gym and I can rent it out for $30 for pretty much an hour. And I'm like, I can go in there and do my content with my dog being off leash. And I know he'll eventually just come and sit next to me. That just made an easy location. I didn't know this place even existed. It's called the Zoom Room for your dog to get his zoomies out.
Oh my goodness.
And so they have elements inside of it where there's treats all along the wall, local people doing treats, and also toys and things.
So this speaks to obsession. I'm on YouTube right now, and I've only seen 3 videos, and they were from 5 months ago. I don't see any recent videos searching yoga dog at all. Everything says 5 years ago, 12 years ago, 10 years ago, 8 years ago. So this avenue is wide open. Case in point, when I first started my confidence coaching.
I'm excited because I know exactly how to run this, and the first person I'm going to pitch to.
Yeah, like literally,
I'm pretty sure it's a local area, or a local thing.
Yeah, you're sitting on a hotbed of ideas because the dog element, the couples element is good. But when I first started confidence coaching, I thought that I would focus on business owners but what I found is I had to. So basically, here's the thing. I'm telling you everything I'm telling you because when I began to broaden my transformation and ask myself what audience or who are like I said earlier, the niche of people or the specific people that are interested in what I'm providing service as. When I first started, it was confidence coaching for business owners. Then I was like, okay, I got LinkedIn. Let me be a little more professional. I said C-suite executives. Then I'm like, okay, at my core, before I was confidence coach shouty, it was all about the W-2 employee. Yeah. Employee. Then I said, okay, before that, I began life as a self-employed individual. And then I hopped on Threads and I was like, you know what? I would love to be a confidence coach to coaches. That'd be cool. But now, right, I'm finding comfort. I'm establishing a new identity as a confidence coach for traders. Now, if I had not gone through this process of self-assessment, this process of obsessing over confidence coaching, I wouldn't arrive to a crayon box of niches, if you will. So biz owners, C-suite, W-2 employees, self-employed, coaches, traders, then I would have missed out. But now I have a crayon box of 6 colors. And by me having a framework, well, this is a side note, but by me having a framework, I'm learning, okay, let me side by side my framework and the different niches. And if the framework still holds true, I'm cooking with grease. And so as an expert, when you reached your ceiling of understanding, we now have to rediscover our obsession, right? And so just to give clarity, as an expert, there are certain niches that you have dominance or, exposure to. Yoga wife, we spoke about rich auntie, We discussed financial yoga. All right, we had this obsession with the number 17. 1,700 for a retreat. Now, if you was gangster, for 17,000, you would do a 17-day retreat. That's if you gangster. 17 bands for 17 days. You're known for your 17-minute workout system. If you do decide to do an ebook or a book, it's gonna be 17 ways. 17 ways to financial yoga.
I literally had to pull up earlier my ebook for my yoga. So
awesome. Now I'm gonna tell you what's dope. Because I practice what I preach, it was awesome
you said 17
to.
ways. Sorry.
What you were saying?
You said yes.
17 ways to financial yoga.
Financial yoga. Gotcha.
So I'm in the group chat, my trading talks from Threads group chat, and the person that sparked my interest with her thread was like, "Hey, trying to upload this book for everybody to share." Whoop that, and it ended up being this book called the Candlesticks Bible. And because I'm someone that wants to study candlesticks, it was a good look for me. My point is, when you're inside the group chat, we now know we're offering the Zoom call link. Write this down so I don't forget, just in case. We know that we're offering the Zoom call link. We have lifestyle yoga tips. We have join the link, and then we have the free ebook, or we can call it the starter guide, because I know a group chat it wouldn't allow me to post the actual book, but if you are crafty and creative, then it can just literally be either a 17-step checklist or some kind of printable with ebook link. And you can kind of go with that as you see fit as it relates to the content of the ebook. And yeah, all these things are true because you're an expert and because you're obsessive. Let me add this. 17 to 170 threads daily. So yeah, you spoke earlier about finances and you kind of focus heavy on yoga. One of the things that I had to realize is people remember how they remember you, right? Certain keywords stick out because that's just how we're wired. Like, I understand people when they don't know what confidence coaching is, but everyone knows about confidence. So if you're leading with yoga and not so much the finance part, let the finance part be the cherry on top. Yep. Now with the ebook element, I would use it's called Napkin. Napkin is a software that illustrates things a little bit better. So between Napkin and Chat, and if you spend the $20 with ChatGPT, it gives you access to other GPT prompts. And I use the story writing prompt to reiterate present storylines in the books that I already have. Just because I'm so big on actionable steps, a lot of my books is like chapters of checklists, which isn't always the easiest to comprehend for strangers. And so I make it a point to give it some kind of storyline, some kind of cohesiveness, so that people can, benefit from reading it. So I'm looking to those, and remember that all these new components are meant to be not just tools on the tool belt, but I would even, would it be Google Calendar or whatever calendar platform app thingy you use, try yourself out. And we already block out your time, but try to ideate and draft up the perfect day. But what it consists of is the outreach on Threads, Zoom call during that specific day of the week, other elements that keep things going in business, as well as personal time, as well as time with bae, couples, time with dog. Try to itemize the perfect day and how you feel you would want to spend time with loved ones. That. So going forward, you can look at that against what your actual schedule is, and you're able to give yourself grace. Listen, hey girl, yes, this is the perfect life, but for right now, we're gonna do it like this. And then sprinkle in some of those goals, some of those hard yeses that you've assigned to yourself that you just can't let go. If you really feel excited about 17 threads a day, then it's going to show up on one of your calendars. If you're really passionate about, let's see. Oh, what I was going to say was this. It's all the same thing, but what I would do also, I love asking people, hey, listen, if I'm charging you $1,700 for a retreat, what are you really expecting? Hey, listen, if I wanted you to pay me $17,000 for 17 days of yoga, what does that look like to you?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm actually doing that right now.
Awesome.
I'm actually challenging myself 11th through the 17th of every month, doing something consistently. Adding to my yoga. So I'm actually adding a sauna this month.
Awesome. Now, cool. But see, here's the thing. The catch is we have to lead with the money. We're leading with the money that we want to charge. And it's an open-ended question, meaning if you're in flow, that's awesome. But if the customer wants lollipops and, candy-coated yoga mats, and they'll give you $1,700 or 17 bands for a one-on-one experience, and you caught up in, the different exercises, bruh, I asked for candy-coated yoga mats and lollipops. So it's important to ask because you want to be comfortable. Let's back it up. We doing this because we love yoga. Cool. But after 20 years, can I get what I want out of this? So if you want $17,000 from one client, $1,700 per seat at the retreat, why are we wasting time? Like, honestly, you can go and find 1,000 people to pay you $17 a month for a 17-minute exercise system and make 17 grand a month. You can do that right now. That's easy. 1,000 people, $17, 17 G's a month. My job is done. Right? But for what you really want, why waste time? It's better to get the nose now and take it on the chin and get these 17 G's for 17 minutes of pre-recorded content. So when you are expecting the 17 G's per client and you ultimately fed up, I'm done with yoga, me and my man, we own the better things now, we doing real estate. Nah, I'm gonna pay with real estate, 17 G's a client. I'm almost not begging, but a courteous suggestion, because when a job I didn't like started paying me the production costs of what I would need to come up with to sell a shirt, bro, why do I want to sell shirts anymore? I'm getting $30 an hour. Even like now with scalp trading, I'm pushing $500 a day. Why would my trench coat be $500? I could just not sell it and scalp trade. It gotta be $1,000 for the jacket. Otherwise, I don't give a damn. And if we're not that real about it, we'll look up and be in total disgust with our commitment to a thing that stopped giving us life. If you ever want to inspire yourself, imagine waking up and hating yoga and asking yourself, what happened? Cool. All right, we had an hour and a half. I'm done. That was explosive.
Absolutely. I appreciate you, because the notes from the whiteboard to my journal to the Canva being created, I'm definitely walking away with lots of elements I'm excited for the rest of the week to really dig in.
Awesome. So, we'll reconvene in 7 days. I'm going to save this and put this in the Google Drive folder so you can play it back whenever you want to.
Awesome.
Truly.